You know, when I've been playing and I've been told that I've been an influence on young women and young men, I never played for that. I've played because of the love of music and the love of art and the love of that expression. At home, from my family, I never heard anything about the fact that I was a young girl who wanted to play drums. I never heard that. So that didn't creep into my existence until I was 13 and went out to play professionally. And then I heard things outside. But at home, I never heard that. You know, with my circle of friends, I only got encouraged. I never heard anything contrary to that. When I did hear something contrary, it hurt at first, but I would just go home, get on my drums, and then forget all about what anybody said, and nor did I care, because I was happy in doing something that I loved. I think that if I do influence people, and I've been told that I have inspired people to play and influenced them to play, I'm so happy about that, because I love music and I want to see music furthered, music continued. We need that. We need young people. We need young drummers, you know, to keep this art form going. I'm really happy when I do see young women play, because throughout history, for different reasons, women have been oppressed for doing certain things, you know. I've met older women who have said, oh, I really wanted to play drums, but I was told that I better not, or I cannot, don't you do that. So, you know, I'm really happy to see and to be a person who is able to express and not care at all about what somebody else thinks. And I tell young women that, and young boys that, you know, that they just shouldn't care about what somebody else thinks. And when somebody says this is something that you shouldn't do, then, you know what, do it harder, do it more, do it better. My hands don't know whether they're male or female. They just know whether they're making the stuff that I'm going for or not. And if they're not making it, I need to make an adjustment. You know, I need to figure that out. I need to do it so that I can make it. And to me, that's where it's at. The introduction to greatness that was the most incredible thing that I'd ever seen, and the most influential thing that I've ever seen, was when I saw Tony Williams. And I saw Tony at a clinic. I was completely blown away. I was so amazed by what I saw that when he took questions and I raised my hand to ask a question, no words could even come out. I couldn't even ask him a question. Everything that I saw was incredible. His technique, his touch, his whole bravado and attitude on the drums, the sound that he got. Of course, his concept was incredible. Everything was just amazing, and that set me on a course. I thought, if I don't go for that, then I'm not going for anything. I got to go for that. That's the direction, because that was the most incredible thing that I'd ever seen. And all my friends were into watching Star Wars and whatever the sci-fi movie was at the time, and I'm a huge sci-fi nut. Those movies became boring to me after I saw Tony. one of the most touching stories that I can tell you from my time in New York was with Tony Williams, and it was his last engagement. It ended up being his last engagement in New York. He was playing with his trio, and I went to see the band, and afterwards he came over and he just grabbed my hand and he held my hand, and he was talking, and we were talking about different things, and he asked me if I was in New York, and I was going to be in New York, and he just grabbed my hand and held my hand and wouldn't let go. And and after a moment I felt a little uncomfortable, so I tried to kind of pull away, and he grabbed my hand and wouldn't let me pull away. And it was so touching. That's the last time I saw him, and I can still feel him grabbing my hand. Every time I think about it, it was really incredible. And that was the last time he played in New York, and I think it might have been wasn't his last gig, but it was certainly his last gig in the city. Yeah.